The rise of xylazine, commonly known as the zombie drug, represents yet another grim chapter in America's ongoing drug crisis. Once a tranquilizer used exclusively by veterinarians, xylazine is now flooding U.S. streets, smuggled across the southern border, and mixed with fentanyl to create an even deadlier substance. The rapid spread of this drug, its horrifying effects, and the lack of effective treatment options make it one of the most alarming threats in recent years. Despite warnings from health officials, the government's response has been sluggish, allowing this crisis to escalate into a full-scale public health emergency. Xylazine is not just another street drug. It is a flesh-eating poison that turns users into something resembling the Walking Dead. By constricting blood vessels and cutting off oxygen to tissue, it causes severe abscesses and necrosis, often leading to amputations. Those who survive its effects are left with gaping wounds that refuse to heal, leaving them in a state of perpetual suffering. Unlike opioids, xylazine does not respond to naloxone, the emergency drug used to reverse overdoses. This means that those who unknowingly ingest xylazine-laced fentanyl have an even lower chance of survival. The combination of these two drugs is proving to be one of the deadliest substances to ever hit American streets. The most disturbing aspect of this crisis is how quickly xylazine has spread. Initially found mainly in East Coast cities where it was stolen from veterinary supplies, it is now being mass-produced and smuggled in from Mexico, appearing in fentanyl supplies across the country. A recent study confirmed its presence in Tijuana, San Diego, and other parts of Southern California, signaling that this drug is rapidly infiltrating the U.S. drug market. The DEA has already seized xylazine fentanyl mixtures in 48 out of 50 states, yet there is little evidence of a coordinated federal response to contain the spread. What makes this crisis even more horrifying is that xylazine is being used as an additive to fentanyl rather than as a standalone drug. Dealers mix it into fentanyl to extend the high, making their product more potent and more addictive. In over 98% of xylazine-related cases, it was found alongside fentanyl, creating a drug cocktail that is nearly impossible to survive. Even before xylazine entered the picture, fentanyl was already the leading cause of overdose deaths in the U.S. Now, with this new ingredient, the death toll is set to rise even further. The statistics paint a bleak picture of where this is headed. In 2015, xylazine was present in just 3.6% of overdose deaths. By 2020, that number had nearly doubled to 6.7%. By mid-2022, it had reached 10.9%, and experts believe the real number today is likely far higher. As xylazine continues to spread, its presence in fentanyl supplies could make overdose deaths climb to record-breaking levels. Despite these warnings, the government has been slow to act. While the FDA has restricted xylazine imports, the reality is that the drug is still pouring into the U.S. through illicit channels, and enforcement efforts at the southern border remain inadequate. This crisis is a direct consequence of the ongoing failure to secure the U.S.-Mexico border. Criminal cartels, already responsible for the flood of fentanyl into the country, have now turned to xylazine as a new weapon in their drug empire. These organizations have adapted to every attempt at regulation, quickly replacing one deadly substance with another to keep the supply chain moving. The result is a catastrophic cycle in which every new crackdown is met with an even more dangerous drug. If the government does not act with urgency, xylazine could soon become as widespread as fentanyl, with consequences that are nearly unimaginable. The lack of effective treatment options means that users who survive their first encounter with the drug are doomed to suffer horrifying long-term effects. Cities like Philadelphia and San Francisco, already grappling with fentanyl addiction and homelessness, will see even more bodies piling up on the streets as this new substance takes hold. Public health officials and law enforcement agencies have sounded the alarm, but the response from policymakers has been lethargic at best. The Biden administration has failed to address the root of the problem, border security and the influx of illicit drugs from Mexico, while cities continue to struggle with the consequences. Without aggressive intervention, the zombie drug will push America's drug crisis into even darker territory, making it harder than ever to turn the tide on an epidemic that has already claimed hundreds of thousands of lives. The U.S. is running out of time. Xylazine is not just another addition to the drug landscape. It is a game changer in the worst possible way. Without immediate action to crack down on its smuggling, improve addiction treatment, and secure the border, the death toll will continue to climb. The warning signs are clear, but whether the government will heed them before it is too late remains to be seen.